Hey everybody, and welcome to another installment of Dear Deja. So, before I get into this letter, all of my lovely folks, if you are new here, please make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you like the video. Please make sure you watch the video in its entirety because I want all of your feedback in the comments. We need to be discussing these Dear Deja letters, okay? So that's subscribe and like, watch the video in its entirety, and then leave your feedback down below because we need to talk about these topics, okay? So let's get into the new Dear Deja letter. Alrighty. Dear Deja, I am the proud mom of a freshman at Virginia State University. Won't he do it? My daughter's father stopped financially providing for my child over 15 years ago, and I got tired of asking over 10 years ago. I got on my grind to make sure that my baby didn't have to miss out because of the poor choice I made in choosing her father. He shows up for every celebratory event empty-handed, taking pictures and smiling as though he is contributing in some way. I'm able to keep it together in the moment, but I don't forget to curse him out privately immediately after. Well, in the recent months, I've had some financial hardships due to a recent illness, and I really don't want that to affect my daughter and her future at VSU. So I'm considering reaching out to her dad. I tried, and he has yet to respond to all of the attempts I've made, and I recently saw on social media that he just had a very lavish baby shower and is expecting a son. It's taking everything in me not to show up to labor and delivery to collect my daughter's well-deserved funds, especially before he starts making an excuse that he can't contribute because he has a newborn son to take care of. I'm trying not to choose violence, so I really need your help. Sign, I am fucking fed up. Ooh. Okay. Okay, let's get started. I'm sorry if you see me looking down, guys. It's because I'm ordering Instacart and he's supposed to be bringing me my delivery. All right, my dear. All right. Let's take it from the top. Congratulations! Congratulations on having an HBCU student. This is beautiful. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations on your young lady being accepted. That is a beautiful thing. So I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for you. This is a huge accomplishment, and I pray she continues to push forward on her academic journey, right? So I'm so happy to hear that, right? That's one. Two on the list is that I'm so sorry to hear that I know you shared about there's an illness, and that may be causing some concern for your finances, right? So let me say that I'm sending prayers and love to you because that's a horrific thing to be dealing with an illness, and also to have it affect your finances with all you have going on. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. This is ghetto. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Sorry, guys. I got a delivery. This is what recording from home looks like. Ghetto. Okay, so back to the letter. Once again, let me just say, make sure you have subscribed to the channel, like the video, watch the Dear Deja letter in its entirety, leave your feedback on the bottom. Sorry about that. So what I was just sharing was that I'm sending my prayers to you while dealing with your illness. I hope everything gets better in that regard and you have a speedy recovery. Okay, so let's talk about this alleged deadbeat pappy, right? This is such a hard situation because number one, I'm not a parent, right? So I really typically feel so out of place having these conversations, but in this regard, I don't feel so out of place because you're not asking me for any parenting advice, right? So I kind of feel okay with that. This is more so about I have a situation regarding me as a parent, and I want to make sure that I'm making the best decision for myself and my kid, and not more so I'm making a decision for my kid. So I love to give this type of feedback because it doesn't make me feel like I'm overstepping my bounds. Number one on the list, I'll start by saying that you can always go the legal route. You can always go the legal route. You can always go the legal route. From what I hear, that can definitely bring you a lot of that can definitely take away from a lot of your stress, is going the legal route. So let me start there. You can go the legal route. He's alive and kicking. It's proven that he's dead, so you can go the legal route. If a blood test needs to be taken and so on and so forth to prove that you're the pappy, I'm sorry, you guys. This is ghetto because this person is anyway. That's step one, right? You can try to take the legal route and see how that works for you. I just wonder how that works. But again, I don't have expertise in that, so I would have to probably refer you to some of my other folks who I know has had the battle of child support and how that works and so on and so forth. That's not my area of expertise, so I honestly can't say what the legal route looks like. I'm gonna have to do this video over. This is ghetto. I can't answer this. This is ghetto. But anyway, I'm not doing this video over. Y'all gonna catch the bloopers in Dear Deja. This is my real life, right? So anyway, yeah. I don't know what the legal route looks like. I'm not a parent. I'm not sure. So you probably could look into that portion of it, right? But it seems like you would rather have a conversation with your daughter's dad and, kind of square things away. This did DJ is ghetto. Okay, got it. Um, it sounds like to me that you would rather have some conversation with this person as opposed to going the route of the courts and so on and so forth. Because I would imagine that if that is what you wanted to do, you would have done over 15 years ago when he initially stopped doing what he needed to do. So I get that part of it. I get that part of it of saying, listen, before I start going through all of this, let me just sit down and have a reasonable conversation with you. Number one on the list, the only way you can have that reasonable conversation is being able to reach him. So my first thing that I would ask is, I know you said that he's not really front and center and too much involved, but is there grandparents? Is there aunts? Is there uncles? Is there cousins? Is there anybody who he keeps a relationship with that you have any form of relationship with, even if that's only on social media? To be able to say, hey, Aunt Mary, I haven't heard from your nephew Daryl in a couple of weeks, and I want to speak to him about LaQuisha. So if you don't mind, can you get in touch with him and ask him to get in touch with me? Because again, before you can have any form of conversation, you need to be able to reach him to do so. And if he is ducking, from what it sounds like, all of your attempts, I don't think it's a bad idea to involve a third party who he may actually listen to because he has that relationship with them, right? So involving a family member to say, hey, can you let Daryl know that this is what I'm trying to do? I think it's fine to do so, because if his argument would be after you've done so, or why are you putting Mary and Sarah and Larry and all these people in my business, you can say to him, well, I had no choice. I had no choice. Because if I can get in touch with them, if I can get in touch with you directly, I wouldn't need to Lord, this text is driving me crazy from Instacart. If I can get in touch with them directly, get in touch with you directly, then I wouldn't need to reach out to them. This is all your fault that I involved them, right? So at that point, he needs to grow up. He doesn't need to be upset because you did what you had to do to reach him, right? And you can also say to him, I only shared with them I needed to speak with you. I didn't tell them what this was in reference to, because 9.9.9.9% of the time, those folks don't even know that not only are y'all not speaking, but they also don't know that he's not caring for the child. And I only say that because, like you said, if he's showing up at every celebratory event, hugging and taking pictures, then they're going to think everything is all grand and all great, right? So they probably don't notice. That's number one, reaching him. Number two, before you even reach out to have any conversation with him, I think you need to be able to address your feelings surrounding him and him not being there for your daughter. Because if you have not addressed how you feel about him, like really feel about him not being there for your daughter, when you get the opportunity to have what you would like to be a very cool and calm conversation, you're going to have diarrhea of the mouth with all the shit you've been wanting to tell him for all the years he has not been there. And it's going to get ugly. So I think that if you fully work on where am I with him not doing anything for my daughter, right? And if you're in a good space where you can communicate without those feelings erupting, then by all means, go and have the conversation. But if you're not there yet, let's book your Operation Heal 100 Hearts one-on-one session for you to get there. Because if you're not there, you're really, really, really going to struggle with conversing with him, because any stupid thing that he says regarding why he wasn't there, what he didn't do, or what he should have did or could have done, or the way she turned out, or any of that is going to be a trigger for you, and you're going to fly off the handle. And that negates the purpose, because you still don't get what you want, even though you said what you needed to, right? So let's think about, and let's also have a one-on-one session about, can I really address this? And am I going to be okay addressing it? Maybe you guys may need a third party, a mediator, somebody to be able to amicably come around and say, hey, let me sit in between you two and get this situation situated, so you guys are not just spewing out all of this personal venom and hatred because of what's taking place in the moment. So if you guys need a mediator, Operation Heal 100 Hearts is open to do so. I've done many co-parenting one-on-one sessions, and they actually, if I did 10 of them, I'll say about 8 of them went well. You know, the other 2, the other parent passed away. God rest their soul. And the other one, it was so much hatred between the two that they couldn't move forward with any of the healing I was trying to do. But I am very well versed in trying to help folks co-parent. I even do so in my own relationship, right? Helping my boyfriend co-parent to where he's effective, as opposed to always bumping heads with the other person he's partnering with, right? So I think that I could assist if you guys need a third party. If you don't and you want to go at it alone, I'm just saying, my dear, that you have to approach it from a logical standpoint and not an emotional one. And I know that won't be easy, because every parent on the planet, me as an aunt, we get emotional about our young people. We get emotional about our young people. That's our sore spot. That's our kryptonite. So when somebody, with your baby, whether it's your niece, your godchild, your daughter, whatever relationship you have with that young person, it's very hard for you not to see red, because you're so emotional when it comes to that young person. That's your baby. So I get it. I get that it's going to be incredibly hard, because like you said, every time you see him, you are privately cursing him out, because it's like, how fucking dare you, you know? But in this case, you're trying to achieve a goal, and you do not want your emotions to get in the way of you accomplishing that. And the reason why I think your emotions is getting in the way of you accomplishing that is because every time that he's showing up to these events, these celebratory events, doing all of this grinning and skinning, you are crucifying him after, right? Which is why he could rebel against whatever you want done. Now, let me stop, because I don't want you to dive on me. I'm not saying it's your fault that he don't take care of his baby. No. If in fact what you're saying is true, he is a deadbeat man, and he does not deserve any praise about it. So I'm not at all saying it's by any means your fault that your daughter's father doesn't do what the fuck he's supposed to do for your daughter. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that because right now you want to accomplish a goal. So you need to be able to get through to him by any means necessary to get what you want. And if you go the route of what works for you, you're not going to get what you want because what works for you might not work for him. Right? So case in point, if he comes to the celebratory events and after every celebratory event it makes sense to you to curse him the fuck out, right? That works for you, right? It's like, okay, I'm not going to embarrass you in front of our daughter, but when we get a moment alone, motherfucker, I'm going to remind you that you ain't shit. That works for you. I could almost guarantee that doesn't work for him. And you know why it doesn't work for him? Because if it did, he would have some form of change behavior or not. Or not. Let me insert that, or not. Right now, everything that we talk about and every method I give you to approach this from so things could work out in your favor, none of it may work. And not just because it's me, I don't care if you saw Iyanla Vanzant. Every tool that we gave, none of it may work. It may just be who he is. Which is, I can imagine, the most heartbreaking news to receive. Is that a person that you chose for the father of your baby, the person that you love the most in this world and would do anything for, is this type of man. That's a deep hurt. And that's what we need to be addressing. That's what we need to be addressing. Because the reality of it is it right? No. Is it fair? No. Should it be being done? No. Should there be consequences for 100%? But we live in a world where everything is not ideal and everything is not perfect. So there may not be any consequences from it, from what you could see. Right? So because of that, you have to keep in mind that, I may have made a poor choice. What now? Now let's go into what you said about him him now expecting another child. That says a lot about him as a man, because the fact that I'm going to say oldest because you didn't say anything about him having any other children or your baby having any other siblings, but the fact that your oldest child is about to be legally no longer your responsibility and you will go and make a newborn knowing that you didn't do what you did initially for the first child, it says a lot about you as a man. And it can say a few things, right? It could say that you're a boy that just made another baby without a care in the world, or it could also say that you're trying to have a new fresh start and you might want to do that with a new baby. Beautiful. Lovely. God bless you in that endeavor. That does not take away what he didn't do for your baby. That does not take away what he didn't do for your baby. So there will be some strife and some struggling on his end, because no matter how right you do with this one, because you didn't put any effort in doing right on that part, there will still be some struggle and some strife, right? And even if you don't get a chance to see it, it doesn't mean it isn't happening, right? Number 2 is that showing up to labor and delivery is kind of unfair to the other young lady, right? And I say that because we don't know how much the other young lady knows. Now, I can get all into, her not doing her homework on him and how could you and how could you date a man and don't take care of his children and yada, 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 right? I could get into that, but that would be a separate that would be a separate Operation Hill One Your Heart session, and that may be, more private. But for here, this Dear DJ letter, from what you shared in the letter, technically what is taking place is not her responsibility. Now, it is her responsibility to make a good choice for who she allows to father her child. That's between them two. But when it comes to you and her, there's no issue with you and her. So showing up to her labor and delivery is not fair to her, because you and his issue is not her problem. Right? Now, granted, it does say a lot about a woman that wants to not only make a baby, but even have a relationship with a man who does not take care of his children. I don't understand that, but that's not for me to understand, right? Because again, we don't know what the other young lady knows, right? We don't know what the other young lady is being told. So it's not fair to show up at her labor and delivery because right now this is not about her. This is about your baby and this is about your baby father. So now you have to do what you have to do to get what you need from him, which is number one, reaching out to a family member since you can't seem to get him. If you have one available, a friend, whoever, and saying, hey, do you have a number for Daryl? Can you let him know I've been trying to reach him? Right? Again, he's going to be alarmed with that because my Instacart is still coming, by the way. He's going to be alarmed with that because now someone else is aware. He don't know how much they know. So now he's going to hurry up and try to get in contact with you to shut you up because now you're reaching out to all these other people, right? And when you do so, when he does reach out to you, his first reaction is going to be, hold on, you guys. Sorry, this is ghetto, I know. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Instacart is ghetto. But anywho, make sure you are subscribed, make sure you like the video, and make sure after you watch it in its entirety, you give your feedback, even about the ghetto parts and the bloopers. Anywho, like I said, so this is the plan we coming up with, my dear. Number one, you involving the third party. Again, you do not have to go into detail with the third party, but the baby father, is going to feel nervous about them knowing anything because if he's showing up for the celebratory events, that's because and taking all of these pictures and doing all this smiling, he wants folks to believe that he's involved and he's doing what he's supposed to do. So if he feels like somebody else might know that he's not, he's going to get nervous and reach out to you. When he does, his initial interaction is going to be, but why are you telling, excuse me, I didn't tell anybody anything. I just asked him to get in touch with you because I couldn't, and we have a daughter together that needs you, right? And then once you get to that part, you guys can agree to meet up. You can agree to have a phone conversation, and you lay it all out bare. Listen, I've been doing this long. I've been doing it alone. This is what is needed. And you just be flat out clear and concise. Like I said, you could give every bullet point. You could put together a freaking spreadsheet. You could put together a PowerPoint. You could bring in witnesses. Your daughter could get on the line. You can do all of these things and they still may not be effective because being a deadbeat dad just might be who he is. And again, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow if what you're trying to alley-oop doesn't land, because then it comes back to you and accepting that I chose this man for the daughter of my child, for the father of my daughter. Again, we all make mistakes. It's nothing to beat yourself up about. It happens. It's also nothing to beat him up about because I'm going to also tell you life will continuously beat you down if you do not take care of your children. That's a guaranteed fact. Life will beat you down if you do not take care of your children. That's the long and the short of it. So he may be going through hardships that you have no knowledge of just because of what he hasn't done for your baby. But at the end of the day, that does not matter. You still need to address him about what you need. And as I said, you may get what you need or not. Or not. Right? But I think approaching it from a standpoint that is very clear, concise, honest, and lets you know what I need to take place is what is going to benefit you. You know, because it also takes it off of me and it puts it on you. For years, it's been on you. For years, it's been on you. Now it needs to be on him. Your daughter is old enough. She knows what she needs. Now she needs to say to him, listen, I want, after you have had the conversation. Because now he's dealing with a different type of beast. I already know what the guilt looks like when dealing with you, when getting in front of mom. I got that. Obviously, I can live with that. Because I ain't pressed about that. But hearing that and seeing that from your own flesh and blood, it has to evoke something in you. It has to if you're a human being. And like I said, if it doesn't and you're just destined to be a deadbeat dad, I'm going to tell you this from the bottom of my heart, and you could take this to the bank and cash it because I know it to be true. If the choice that you made is not the best one for your daughter, but God knows and sees how hard you worked for her, with her. And he knows the sacrifices you've made on your own to be a good mom. Your daughter will be blessed. Your daughter will be blessed with everything she needs. I'll take it a step further. So will you. So will you. But it's nothing wrong with you letting him know what you need and your daughter letting him know what she needs. That's all you could do at that point. Any violence, any anger, any of the above is not going to be to you guys' benefit, because if he is destined to be a deadbeat, that's who he's going to be, whether you are kicking, screaming, stomping, or scratching. You know? But he does need to be made aware that we are at a crucial point, and this is what I need you to do. It's up to him to do it now. Everything else is on God. And I believe that God will put it in a beautiful space, because as a mom, you have done everything you needed to do for your baby, and your daughter has done everything she needs to do. Look where she is. All glory be to God. So, my dear, let's talk about the steps. Step 1, since you can't reach him, and that's the ultimate goal, is, do you have a friend, a family member, somebody you know that speaks to him every day? I'll take it a step further, even reaching out to the baby's mother. And again, you don't have to go into detail. You don't have to go into detail about why you need him. You can just say what you would say to anybody else. Hi, I'm Ashanique mother, and I've been trying to reach Larry. Can you please let him know to give me a call? And once again, I can almost promise you that he's going to reach out, because if he's showing up to those celebratory events to take pictures, it's because he wants folks to believe he's doing what he needs to do. And if he thinks that you're going to share that that's not the case, he's going to want to hurry up and cover that up, so he's going to call you. And when he does, you know him better than me. You get to decide, do you guys need to meet up? Does your daughter need to be there for the first conversation? Is it something that can happen over the phone? So on and so forth. And when you do so, you lay it out there what you need at this moment. Everything I needed in the past, you did not provide, but I'm telling you, this is what I need in this moment. This is what your daughter needs in this moment. And after that, you let it go and you give it to God, because everything you needed to do has been done. But if you're coming from the space of cursing him like you've done in the past, none of that has ever worked. So let's try something different. And like I said, if you know, like I know, if he continues to be a deadbeat father after this conversation with you and your daughter, is nothing on God's green earth is going to change him. So him having some lavish baby shower and him bringing a new baby in the world doesn't mean anything. If he's a deadbeat father at his core, he's going to be that to his new child as well. I can't imagine he would get any blessings from that. No need for you to worry your pretty little head, my dear. You're going to be blessed. You did everything you needed to do, and so did your baby. All right, so I done knocked it out. What I will encourage is, because I did say that, make sure prior to the reach out that you worked on your feelings surrounding him being a deadbeat father thus far. If you need help, and I can do so in any way, please reach out to me, because I want to help you work through the trauma and the anger that you have towards him, because when you approach this situation this time, I want you to speak objectively so you can get what you need. All right, my dear. So listen, you should be at the end of the video. So you should be right now in the comment section, putting your feedback. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me know if you're a single mom dealing with a deadbeat dad. Let me know. I'm here for all the feedback. I love it. I'm going to be back going live really soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, make sure you go subscribe to the channel, like the video, and please drop your feedback. I love it all. Thank you guys so much for always supporting and continuing to listen to my dear DJs. There's more to come.